When it comes to cruising, I am a hardcore budget traveler. The more money I can save, the more often I can travel, and that is always my goal. However, there are always opportunities to splurge while cruising. Expensive add-ons and upselling both seem to be more prevalent than ever. Because of this, budget travelers might find a constant temptation to splurge on cruise extras, including drink packages, internet purchases, specialty dining, and excursions. For me, 2024 was a big year of travel. I sailed on 8 different cruises across 4 continents. Between credit card points, cheap interior cabins, and my remote work jobs, I was able to stretch my vacation budget significantly this year. With a few big splurges in 2024, some purchases were absolutely worth the expense, while others felt like a waste of money. So up first is the balcony stateroom, which was totally worth it. One of my favorite cruises of the year was a 7-night Norway fjord sailing on Celebrity Apex with my husband. We decided to splurge on a more expensive balcony cabin for this cruise. We knew that Norway would be incredibly beautiful with stunning views of the fjords throughout the week. Because of this, we wanted to have our own private balcony so that we wouldn't miss any of the sights. Our deluxe porthole balcony stateroom was pricey at $4,200, which is certainly on the expensive side for a 7-night itinerary, but the splurge was absolutely worthwhile. With extra space in the cabin and our own veranda, our cabin felt like a slice of luxury. We also decided to splurge on choosing our specific stateroom instead of booking a balcony guarantee. Although we have saved money in the past by booking this kind of stateroom, this time we strategically picked our stateroom because it was nestled among other cabins, and this was worth every single penny. The highlight of our balcony was sailing through the fjords from the privacy of our own veranda. Watching the awe-inspiring fjords drift by made the splurge unforgettable. But during that same cruise, I found the spa treatment we received was a waste of money. During our cruise through the Norwegian fjords, my husband and I decided to splurge on a couples massage. Cruise ship spas are notoriously expensive, so the $400 cost of our spa treatment was not surprising. Unfortunately, the overall experience fell short of my expectations. The massage itself was wonderful, but I expected more for the price. I had high hopes for the Edge Class Spa, which is often advertised as a top-of-the-line amenity for celebrity cruises. As a premium cruise line, the onboard experience is centered around modern relaxation and rejuvenation. First, the massage room lacked ambiance. It just felt very plain and resembled a basic spa in like a shopping mall. Some of the aspects of the experience also felt a little cheap. For instance, the masseuse placed a rolled up paper towel over our eyes for the facial portion of the massage. I guess for the cost of a spa treatment on a cruise, I would expect at least like a warm towel for my eyes during this portion. In the future, I will probably prioritize booking maybe a thermal spa pass that I can use throughout the duration of my cruise. For instance, while I cruised in Africa on Norwegian Cruise Line, I spent about $200 on a thermal spa pass to use for the 12-night voyage. This was the first time that I ever splurged on a thermal spa pass, and I found that this was definitely worth it. This was one of the best splurges that I made during that itinerary, actually. I enjoyed the heated loungers with my book every afternoon, which often resulted in an afternoon cat nap. This purchase felt far more worthwhile as I could enjoy the spa amenities every day of our cruise. On the flip side, massages only last about 60 minutes, so they're one and done. One splurge that I did think was worthwhile was the purchase of a drink package. As a frequent cruiser, I hardly ever splurge on a drink package because they're extraordinarily expensive. However, one of the cruises I booked this year included a drink package in the cruise fare. I cruised with Norwegian Cruise Line to Africa on board Norwegian Dawn in January 2024. The cruise line's free at sea pricing included a drink package in which guests only needed to pay the gratuities on the package. I had never tried this package before, but I thought that the price was reasonable. For the 12-night cruise, I only had to pay about $500 in gratuities for Norwegian's standard drink package. This included most of the drinks that I wanted to order, such as mojitos, martinis, and pina coladas. Being able to indulge throughout the port-intensive itinerary was worth the splurge. I appreciated not having to worry about paying for every drink consumed, although I do wish specialty coffee was included in Norwegian's standard drink package. Even still, I easily drank more than $500 worth during the 12-night cruise, and I would splurge again on Norwegian's drink package. One waste during my cruises this year was specialty dining. Specialty dining is typically a splurge that I enjoy while cruising. When sailing on longer itineraries, a specialty restaurant can provide a change of pace from the main dining room. Specialty restaurants on cruise ships include higher quality entrees and more attentive service for a reasonable surcharge. However, this wasn't always the case during my 2024 cruises. While cruising in Norway with my husband, he was especially interested in dining at Raw on 5 on board Celebrity Apex. As a sushi lover, we heard rave reviews about the upscale dining experience. During our first sea day, we booked Raw on 5 for lunch to try this raved about restaurant. Unfortunately, Raw on 5 just didn't live up to our expectations. While the food was definitely edible, the meal was not particularly impressive. Not all specialty dining was disappointing though this year. My husband and I also dined at Rooftop Garden Grill during our cruise, and we had one of the best meals on any cruise at a specialty restaurant. I also tried Tuscan Grill on Celebrity Solstice this fall, which is one of my new favorite cruise ship restaurants. In fact, the meal was so delightful the first time that we returned for a second visit during our 15-night cruise to Australia. Another splurge that was worth it was the purchasing of cruise line excursions. I'm a destination-focused cruiser, so I usually pick my sailings based on the ports of call. If I'm going to spend my time and money to travel, I want to make sure that I'm visiting destinations that I actually want to see. Because of this, I plan my days ashore meticulously to maximize the time in port. While excursions through the cruise line can be undeniably expensive, my splurges in 2024 on these tours were absolutely worth it. Cruise-sponsored excursions provide added security that your cruise ship will not depart without you. This means that any unexpected traffic or big delays aren't a cause for concern during your time ashore. In addition, I've discovered that cruise-sponsored tours almost always receive priority for disembarkation. If you're docked in a port that requires tendering, cruise-sponsored excursions will be among the first to head ashore. These tours also receive priority for ports of call that require face-to-face immigration. Throughout 2024, I splurged on excursions through the cruise line, even if the cost was significantly more than booking an independent tour. While cruising around South Africa with Norwegian, we booked multiple safaris throughout our itinerary. Most of these safaris were hours away from the ports and they required significant travel. Not to mention, we were required to do face-to-face immigration in South Africa. I felt Norwegian's excursions would be the safest options for touring, especially while traveling to an unfamiliar part of the world. We also received priority disembarkation in every port because of this, and this allowed us more time ashore. Because we were booked on a Norwegian excursion, we also avoided the chaotic immigration line with those going ashore on their own. Throughout 2024, I found myself booking more excursions through the cruise line for these reasons. I also booked the Flam Railway during our Norway cruise through Celebrity Cruises. In addition, we visited the Great Barrier Reef while cruising in Australia. Instead of looking to save money with an independent tour, we opted for a celebrity snorkeling excursion because we'd be traveling so far from our anchored ship. Another splurge that was worth it was the disembarkation tours. Disembarkation tours became a new favorite splurge of mine in 2024. These excursions allow guests the opportunity to tour the disembarkation city before heading to the airport or continuing on with their travels. Instead of waiting around at the airport all day, you can utilize your time to explore the surrounding area. With future cruises, I will continue to book these disembarkation tours if the right opportunity presents itself. I would rather see more of the local sites than wait around all day at the airport. All right, everybody, that is all we have for today. Comment below if you made any big splurges on your cruises in 2024 and which ones you felt were worthwhile or which ones were a total waste of money. Be sure and like and subscribe to Cruise Vlogs so that you can be notified every time we have a new video. Thanks for tuning in today, everybody, and happy cruising.